All right, let's journey into the heart of the Amazon. But this is about so much more than just a river. We're talking about a world of profound mystery, a place that's holding on to secrets we're only just now starting to figure out. So let's uncover them together.
So, I want you to forget everything you think you know about rivers. Seriously. Because the Amazon, it's a total shapeshifter. I mean, it's a river that actually changes its name as it goes. It changes its color. You've got these dark and muddy waters flowing right next to each other for miles without even mixing. And, get this, it can even flow backward. Yeah, you heard that right.
But you know, the biggest secret of all? It's the one hidden deep, deep underground. What if I told you there's another river down there? A kind of ghost river, flowing almost 4 kilometers beneath the one we can see. Well, that's the incredible mystery we're going to unravel today.
Okay, so first things first. To even begin to wrap our heads around the Amazon, we have to talk about its scale. And honestly, it's almost unbelievable. Think less like a river and more like a liquid continent.
You know, early explorers and the local people, they had the perfect name for it, the River Sea. And you can see why, right? During the rainy season, this thing can swell up to 48 kilometers wide. I mean, that is so vast that if you're standing on one bank, you literally can't see the other side. The horizon just swallows it up, just like you're staring out at the ocean.
Now this number, this is all about sheer power. Every single second, every tick of the clock, the Amazon dumps 209,000 cubic meters of fresh water into the Atlantic Ocean. To put that in perspective, that's more water than the next 7 largest rivers on the planet, combined. It's just a staggering, mind-boggling amount of water.
And here's where you see the global impact. Just think about it for a second. Of all the fresh water from all the rivers in the entire world pouring into our oceans, a full 20%, that's 1/5 of the total, comes from this one single river system. It's not just a river, it's a planetary force of nature.
So you'd think a river this massive would have a pretty clear identity, right? Well, not exactly. For decades, there's been this fierce debate raging over a really basic question. Which river is the longest in the world? The Amazon or the Nile?
For the longest time, your school textbook would have told you, hands down, it was the Nile. And yeah, traditional measurements put the Nile at about 250 kilometers longer. But the story doesn't end there. See, with new satellite mapping, scientists have been able to trace the Amazon all the way back to its truest, most distant source, way up high in the Andes. And with this new data, some studies suggest the Amazon is actually closer to 7,000 kilometers long, which would make it the undisputed champion. So, believe it or not, the debate is still very much alive.
And the weirdness doesn't stop with its length. Check this out. This incredible site is called the Meeting of Waters. What you're seeing is the dark, almost tea-colored water of the Rio Negro meeting the sandy, muddy water of the Amazon proper. And for hundreds of kilometers, they just refuse to mix. They flow side by side. It's like oil and water, but on this absolutely colossal scale. And it's all because they have different temperatures, different speeds, and different densities.
Okay, let's get back to the sheer power of this river. The Amazon is so mighty that it doesn't just flow into the ocean, it actually fights with it. And, believe it or not, sometimes the ocean wins.
What you're looking at is the Pororoca. It's a massive tidal bore. So what that means is when the Atlantic high tide comes in, it forces this enormous wave, we're talking up to 4 meters high, back up the river. The wave is so powerful, it literally reverses the Amazon's flow for kilometers inland. It's such a legendary event that surfers come from all over the world to try and ride this one single wave deep into the jungle. And the Amazon's influence reaches way, way out into the ocean. Get this, its freshwater outflow is so massive that it actually pushes the saltwater of the Atlantic away from the coast for miles. It creates this huge lens of fresh water. In fact, sailors back in the day reported something amazing. They could lower a bucket and pull up fresh, drinkable water from the ocean long before they could even see land.
But you know, the river's secrets aren't just about what's happening today. We have to go back in time, deep time. We're talking about echoes of a lost world, full of prehistoric giants and incredible forgotten civilizations.
So, millions and millions of years ago, back when South America and Africa were connected, the Amazon actually flowed the other way, westward. But then the Andes Mountains started to rise up, forming this massive natural dam that completely blocked the river. Over time, it had no choice but to completely reverse its course and start flowing east. And this ancient, newly formed basin, it became home to some truly terrifying creatures and much, much later, some amazingly sophisticated human societies.
And when I say terrifying creatures, I mean it. We all think of the anaconda as a giant snake, right? Well, it's a garden snake compared to its ancestor, the Titanoboa. Fossils have shown us this thing was 15 meters long, that's about the length of a school bus, and it weighed more than a ton. This was the apex predator of its time, hunting giant crocodiles and turtles for lunch.
For centuries, the accepted wisdom was that the Amazon was just too harsh for any large, complex societies to develop. Well, that theory has been completely shattered. Using LiDAR technology, which is like radar that can see through the forest canopy, archaeologists in Bolivia discovered the remains of the Casarabe culture. And these weren't small villages. They built a whole network of urban centers, complete with 22-meter-high pyramids, huge canal systems, and these long, straight roads connecting everything. They were there for 800 years, and then, around 1400 AD, they just vanished. To this day, we still have no idea why.
All right, so we've explored the river on the surface, we've looked into its ancient past, we've seen its raw power, but now it's time to uncover the deepest secret of all, the one that's been flowing silently right underneath our feet this whole time. So what exactly is going on almost 4 kilometers down beneath all that mud and rock? The answer is as simple as it is unbelievable: another river. Back in 2011, a team of scientists was looking at temperature data from over 240 old oil wells drilled in the region, and they found something incredible: a vast underground flow of water they named the Rio Hamza. Now, this isn't a river in a cave, okay? It's more like a colossal, slow-moving seepage of groundwater through porous rock. And the craziest part? It perfectly mirrors the path of the Amazon, just miles below.
And just look at how these two rivers compare. It's wild. The Amazon, at its widest, is about 50 kilometers. The Hamza? It's estimated to be between 200 and 400 kilometers wide. I mean, that is just immense. But here's the twist. While the Amazon flows fast, the Hamza moves at a geological snail's pace. We're talking millimeters per second. And while the Amazon empties out onto the surface of the Atlantic, the Hamza is thought to seep out deep on the ocean floor. It's literally two rivers, occupying the same space, but in two completely different worlds.
So, we have journeyed from the surface down to the deep underground, from today all the way back to prehistoric times. And what's become clear at every single turn is that with the Amazon, every answer you find just seems to lead to even more questions.
I mean, think about it. We're still debating how long it even is. The entire Casanova civilization, why did they disappear? It's a total mystery. We're only just scratching the surface of what the Rio Hamza even is. And you just know that hidden beneath those trees and in those waters are countless undiscovered species, and who knows, maybe even other lost civilizations just waiting to be found.
In the end, the Amazon isn't just a river. It's more like a living library of our planet's history, and it feels like we've only just opened it up and read the first chapter. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible secrets are still locked away, waiting for us in its deep waters and under its vast green canopy?